Come to Helmuth Ford, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
Hi, this is Stacy from Shetler Insurance Services. Come see me on the east side of the square in Sigourney for all your insurance needs.
The Old Man Band makes their return to the stage at the Watch Your Opera House this Saturday, August 23rd. Doors open up at 6 p.m. and showtime is at 7. Tickets are $15 for adults, $7.50 for 18 and under, general admission, and you can purchase your tickets at the door the day of the show or online at watchyouroperahouse.org/events. Popcorn, pop, and water will be served during the show, and Grant Ranch Grub and Pub will be serving food and drinks from 6 to 9. It's the Old Man Band this Saturday, August 23rd, starting at 7 p.m. at the Watch Your Opera House in Watch Your, Iowa. The Keswick Tavern in Keswick, Iowa is having their first annual hog roast at the KT at 107 South Iron Street in Keswick, Saturday, August 23rd, serving food from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. for a free will donation. Plus, there's live country music with Jesse and the Medicine Men from 6 to 10 p.m. The event will be held outside. The hog roast will feature pulled pork sandwiches and sides. It's all happening this Saturday, August 23rd, with food from 11 to 4 and music from 6 to 10 at the Keswick Tavern in Keswick, Iowa. The 5th annual Travis Griner Memorial Tractor Ride is Saturday, August 23rd. Sign-up begins at 6:30 a.m. behind Griner Crop Service east of the Keota Water Tower. And it's all for a free will donation. Proceeds to the future Keota Child Care and Vets Memorial. This includes lunch and snacks along the ride. Sponsored by the Southeast Iowa Tractor Association. For more information, call Mark Sheets at 319-548-1077. It's the 5th annual Travis Griner Memorial Tractor Ride, Saturday, August 23rd.
This is the Death Dealer, and you're watching Shotgun Wrestling Radio.
This is Trent Hammer, and you are watching Shotgun Wrestling Radio.
Wrestling fans, if you want the best wrestling news, you want to watch Shotgun Wrestling Radio. This is James Jeffries, and tell them that I sent you there. Yeah!
Hey everybody, this is Brock Anderson, and you are watching Shotgun Wrestling Radio.
What's up, baby? It's Ricky Bronson, your favorite baller and beer drinker, baby, and you're watching Shotgun Wrestling Radio.
Hey, this is Mason Grayskull, and you're watching Shotgun Wrestling Radio.
This is Kelsey Magnolia, and you are watching Shotgun Wrestling Radio.
This is Bryce Jordan, and you're watching Shotgun Wrestling Radio.
Hey, this is Jared Thumb, and you are watching Shotgun Wrestling Radio.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Shotgun Wrestling Radio as we are continuing the road to Bridge City Slam, which is, again, Saturday, September the 6th at the Bridgeview Center in Ottumwa, Iowa. If you haven't gotten your tickets, head over to Central Empire Wrestling's Facebook page. Click the link, get your tickets. It's going to be a great night. One of the big things that they have coming up at that event is the Legends of Iowa Wrestling match, where we're going to see a lot of Iowa legends from the past come back, which I'm very excited for, because a lot of these guys were on shows when I first started going to shows back in 2005, 2006. And my guest right now is the one and only, a lot of you I hope will remember this guy, is the one, the only Mr. Gage Octane. Gage, welcome to the show, man.
Oh my God, who the heck is Gage Octane? I haven't heard that name forever. What's he been up to?
So
how's it going, dude?
I'm doing great, man. And you know, when Bayless told me about this at first, I was like, you know, that's great, because like I said, a lot of you guys were on those first shows that I was going to in 2005, 2006 era, with like 3XW was really hot and running shows monthly. And yeah, it's going to be a really good, I think, reunion for all of us who were back in that era.
Totally. Yeah. And I know you're like, I don't know if you remember me or not. And I was like, probably not, because that was a long time ago and I've been hitting the head a lot of times. So, but yes, you do look somewhat familiar. Let's go with that. For an old guy like me.
I used to go to shows all the time with my former co-host, Zach Grigg, the other bigger fellow. And unfortunately, he passed away in 2020. And we had been doing the show since 2010. So, yeah, 2020 was one of those years where I'm just like, yeah, I can forget that year and be done with it. But
100%, 100%.
We move on, and you know, he would still want us to be doing the show, and I see matches like this, and I think he would just be ecstatic for it. So, with us as fans being ecstatic, what was your first thoughts when Mr. Bayless called you up and said, "Hey, I'm thinking about getting the band back together. What do you think?"
No, no. I mean, I don't know. I'm always flattered that people think of me for these kind of things. Like my last actual match as like, an active wrestler, whatever you want, however you determine that, was, let's see, January 2015. And I've done a few things since then. I thought I was just gonna be like, that's it. Maybe I'll come back here and there and do some small thing, which I guess I did. But every time I did it, I was like, man, I probably shouldn't do this. But I've done like a couple of, 20-year reunion things, that for we could say other company names, right? We can talk
absolutely.
about the competition. Yep. Yeah, why not?
Absolutely.
Like Impact Pro Wrestling and 3XW and those guys. Well, you mentioned 3XW. Yeah, you kicked the lid off of that already, so we're good. But no, I mean, I'm always flattered. I have a hard time saying no to those kind of things. I have no business being in a ring anymore, I don't think. But I'm also not trying to do the kind of things I was doing back in 2005, for example. So I'll gladly lend my whatever skills I have left to that particular match. And it's a great opportunity to hang out with some of my buddies that I haven't seen for a long time. So that was the other draw. It was kind of like I got the call. There's no call. Nobody calls people anymore. Got the DM, whatever you call it, on Facebook message. And Bayless is like, well, Brian Ash is doing it. And I was like, man, I'd love to hang out with Brian again because we're pretty good buddies, but we don't really hang out. We don't live in the same town, that kind of thing. So I was like, chance to hang out with Brian and a couple other guys, that'd be great. Yeah, maybe I could do that. So.
Now I gotta ask too, because a lot of your time spent back in the early days, you were one of the few that actually got to have your wife with you along the ride too, because she was she was your manager along the ride. What was her reaction to it? Did she have any thought of, I think I want to accompany you to this?
Well, she goes, wait, they don't want me? And I was like, nobody asked for you. So I don't know. I think she would totally be up for it.
I'll talk to the boss and see what we can come up with.
Yeah, there you go. She'd want in though. She'd want to get into the ring. But no, like she was like, you're nuts. First of all, you're too old. No way in hell. No, I'm just kidding. She's totally supportive of everything and said, oh, that'd be fun. Brian's not going to be there though, is he? No, I'm just kidding. She likes Brian too.
Well, and the fun thing about this is too, it's not just like your regular independent show. It's really is, Central Empire Wrestling's WrestleMania with the Bridge City Slam. We're bringing in Frankie Kazarian, Masa Slamovich, The Godfather. So it's like there are a lot of big names there. We have a really awesome fan fest beforehand. So it's really is just a great day of celebrating, pro wrestling in general.
Yeah, it looks like an awesome card. And I mean, I follow Austin on socials and all that stuff. And it seems like this is always like the let's blow it all out of the water here on that once a year type thing. And let's get all the names we can get, kind of thing, or some special guests. And it looks like a really cool event. Looks like it's really well organized. It always seems to have a great turnout every year and a great venue too. So pretty excited about that.
Yeah, I always call it our WrestleMania of the year because it feels like we always do the show in September and then he tends to kind of take the rest of the year off, which is fine with me because then we're in like the heart of football season. So I'm like, all right, great. I don't have really anything to do for Saturdays from here on out. So it really does feel like our WrestleMania to us. I mean, we're sitting there ringside in the big Bridgeview Center venue where there's been so much wrestling history, and it's a really cool event for fans to experience if you haven't experienced. And again, that Fan Fest from 4 to 7 p.m. that I've told Austin for years since I've been going to Bridge City. I'm like, that is the perfect time frame for a Fan Fest because I don't feel like you ever feel like you're rushed to meet people because you have so much time in between when the show starts and when the Fan Fest starts that there's so much time you can get everything done. And when 7 o'clock rolls around, you're in your seat, you're ready to go for the rest of the night.
Yeah, the whole Fan Fest thing, I'm like, well, you don't want me there, do you? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, I don't have any merch. I don't have T-shirts. I might have one T-shirt left from the old days, and it's probably like a X small or something like that. The one I couldn't ever sell.
Right.
Maybe I gave it to Goodwill. I don't remember. 0 8x10s or 0 that look like me anymore. What else? So I'll say hey, take some pictures with people. Totally happy to do that, but go spend your money on like Frankie Kazarian.
Now, for people who might not be familiar with you and your wrestling history, where did you actually do your initial wrestling training at? I know we're kind of going back to the vault here, so you might think about it.
Yeah.
What do you remember from
Ooh,
your
boy.
training days?
Yeah, so we started, Brian, Ash and I, we went to college together up at University of Northern Iowa. He found Harley Race's wrestling school down in Eldon, Missouri, and thought, hey, wouldn't it be cool, since we're just screwing around on trampolines and bed mattresses, why don't we like go get trained for real? And at the time, like, well, I've never looked like a wrestler ever, really. I mean, not like a body guy. I was never a body guy. Brian, on the other hand, he does look like he could kick somebody's still now. But back in the day, he looked like he could kick your ass, tear your arm off and hand it to you and say, have a nice day. And you're not doing anything about it. But so I was like, well, okay, I'll go down with you. So it really started at Harley's wrestling school. That was around October, November, 99. And then Brian and I and beautiful Brent Fillmore, another guy that made the rounds on the indie scene around here, and a good friend of mine, Paul Phoenix, who did not do it outside of like Iowa, just a few matches here and there, but he and I are real good, tight friends from back in the early days of, he kind of got me into wrestling, watching wrestling. But the four of us traveled down to the Dory Funking Conservatory, the Dory Funk Jr. camp down in Ocala, Florida. That was December 1999. And so I had most of my training through the Harley Race Academy. I had a week down at the Funking Conservatory. I had my very first match in front of a crowd. Like I call it my actual first match on Christmas night, 1999 in Ocala, Florida. And fun fact, this is a sidebar, but fun fact, my first match was the exact same as my last match in January 2015. It just worked out perfectly. The same four of us were still willing to get in there one more time. And so 3XW let me book my farewell tour that ended with that same foursome, match. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, so that's a long story to say I started in 1999 with Harley Race.
What were some of your early memories then when you walk in and you meet a legend like Harley Race and you're like, I have to actually train with this guy? Because we all know the stories of Harley.
Harley, such a good dude. He was very serious, very tough dude. One of my memories is so his ring was in basically a two-part gym. So he had the ring on one side, some couches and stuff, and his office there. And then on the other side was like an actual gym that you would go to. And he was walking in the gym and turned around. I don't know what happened. We were working out over there, and he turned around and banged his head like really hard on one of those like chin-up bar things, like one end of the chin-up bar. And he just no sells it. And he's like, lovely. And then walked away. It's like, dude. But yeah, I mean, he wasn't getting in the ring with people anymore at that time. He had guys like Derek Stone, that's a name from the past too. He was active up until recently, I believe. Trevor Murdoch, I guess, if you want to use what he's mostly known as. So Trevor and Derek really did the bulk of the training, along with let's not use government names here, Mr. Destiny. So a lot of those guys had a hand in it, but Harley was right there, man. I mean, he had back surgery about midway through when we were there, and he was in like the real hard clamshell gimmick back brace, and he would still have you come out and throw you in a headlock and show you how to do it. And, damn near paralyzed me with one of those one time. Yeah, I mean, my memory was just that he was always there. He had guys that he trusted train you. occasionally he would talk to like Dusty Rhodes on the phone while we're down there, which was kind of surreal. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of my memory of back those